Alright, the next step is to apply E6000 to the cap we just made right on the top of the globe. This E6000 is some really bad stuff, so I have the vent for my stove to carry the bad fumes out. First thing, I have to get the dewdrop LEDs down the acrylic tube. After I get it down the acrylic tube, I'm just going to start pushing it in this globe. And because they're so tightly wound and these are really hard to I guess unwind without making a disaster. I've had these to where it took me 35 minutes to actually unwind them. It was terrible. So what I did, with the help of my wife, we just carefully unwound them and I wrapped them back around this pool noodle. So it's going to make the process of pushing it in here, and then we'll have my wife help me. She'll hold this in, unroll it as we go, and then we'll go through here and put them inside the glass globe. It gets epoxied together, and then we'll go from there. Okay, with the help of the wife now, we're just going to start feeding these in here and try to make them look as good as possible. I'll speed this part of the video up. Okay, now that this is done, I'll just prepare some two-part epoxy and epoxy the acrylic tube inside the acrylic cap that I made. Alright, so using a quality two-part epoxy, you just want to make sure that you put down equal amounts. Put the cap back on and stand it up so I don't create any air bubbles down there in the tips. This is just 5-minute epoxy, but you don't have that much time really to work it. I found after about, I don't know, 2 minutes you really need to kind of be finished with whatever you're doing with it. And what we're looking for is a little bit of squeeze out on the top. Kind of creates a bead, and you'll see that here in just a second. I'm working around the camera. So putting this in and spinning it at the same time. Real good seal. And then try to show you the bead we're looking for at the top. And that's what we want. And I'll stand this up and wait until it hardens. Here's a 4-inch globe I just completed. There's going to be 4 6-inch globes and 3 4-inch globes. We'll complete the pendulum chandelier. Okay, so from this perspective, you can kind of get an idea what they'll look like hanging from the ceiling. This is all I could fit on the power strip, but when I'm finished, all of them are going to be powered by a 10 amp 12 volt power supply. Here's a bit of a close-up look at the globes with the dewdrop LEDs inside them. I'm not sure how well the lights may be flaring the lens, but just looking at the Wi-Fi image on my phone, it looks like you can see what's kind of going on here. Okay, so that's the end product. The only thing that I have to come up with now is a way to attach them in the attic. The poles will be going through the ceiling with trim around it. Looking up at it, you won't be able to see where they enter the ceiling, I'm sure. And in the attic is where the 12 volt power supply will be located. So that's it, and they'll be able to adjust the height to suit their needs, and that's a wrap.